One of the things that brought me to even start questioning my relationship with God was having my own children. Because once you have this precious little life, you start to wonder, well, what am I going to teach them? What do I want them to know? And then you have to question yourself, well, what do I believe? And what legacy do I want to pass on to my child? And that really got me thinking about my faith, because it really wasn't a part of my life. The biggest light bulb moment for me was reading a book that my brother had given me called The Way of the Master by Ray Comfort. Having read this book, it took the gospel message for me and it applied it personally to me, so I could finally see myself in the gospel. I could finally see that I really am a sinner, that I am not this great, wonderful, perfect person that I always thought that I was or was trying to achieve. When I was in my early 20s, I realized that I had a very unhealthy relationship with food, and I was abusing food and abusing my body. And when I became a woman of faith and decided that this was the most important thing in my life, I finally put the two together. Never in my life had I ever thought that God cared about what I was eating or how I was treating my body or the amount of exercise I did or didn't do. And therefore, I never thought about asking God to help me with my unhealthy relationship with food. I just thought maybe that's just a silly problem to be asking God about. But when I realized that I was abusing my own body with what I was doing in this unhealthy relationship with food, that if I'm calling myself a Christian and a woman that's walking in God's ways, then I'm not treating my body, which is my holy temple that God gave me, in a way that would be pleasing to Him. I wrote the book because I had so many women asking me over the years what my secret was, what I was eating every day, how I was exercising, what my routine was. And as I was talking to so many women, the conversations got very deep, because I had to explain to them that, it really wasn't only about food choices and only about exercising, but much more than that, because whenever any one of us has a problem with food, like anorexia or bulimia, but even the overeating of food, is a problem. These conversations got very deep with so many of the women, and I had to explain that it was really God that did a change in me and a change in my mindset, that I had to continually renew my mind in the Word of God to make good decisions every single day with my food choices. What I want the book to come across is that we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. But we need to know the Word of God, and we need to know the characteristics of God, and we need to know how God views us. And we need to see our value and our worth in God's eyes, and not just in the world's eyes. And of course, God's love would never, ever change dependent upon what number is on the scale. It's not how His love works. But we are to honor our bodies, because our bodies are really just an envelope for our soul.